Previously on Perihelion, 5 women crash-landed on an uncharted planet after their shuttle was pulled off course by an unknown gravitational force. The planet has been named Draken. They are alive. Nobody knows where they are. Week 2. The Meridian 7 looked different in the second week. Not better. The hull was still buckled. The separated wing still lay 50 feet from the fuselage, but it had been organized, labeled, cataloged. The chaos of impact had been sorted into something that at least resembled intention. The camp had grown. 2 lean-to shelters built from hull panels, a fire station with a controlled pit, a marked perimeter, a water collection system rigged from intake tubing to catch the planet's morning condensation. It was not comfortable, but it was not random. Minty Ross was awake before anyone else, as she had been every morning since the crash. She stood at the supply station, doing math in her head she'd already done on paper, checking it again the way you check math when the numbers matter more than usual. She heard footsteps, didn't turn. "Rations run out in 6 days," she said. "I know," Kay replied, coming up beside her. 5 if we maintain current consumption." "I know." "May needs more time." "How much time?" "She says 2 more weeks to be certain. 1 week if she's willing to be less certain." "And if she can't identify anything edible in the next 5 days?" Kay asked. Minty was quiet for a moment. "Then we have a different conversation," she said. They stood in the pale Draken dawn. The sky moved through its amber to indigo progression, something that should have been wrong and somehow wasn't. "I'm not having that conversation," Kay said. "I'm telling you now. I'm not saying we give up. I'm saying we plan for contingencies. The contingency is May finds something." Minty looked at her. "That's not a contingency. That's a hope." Kay met her eyes. "Then it's a hope. We can do both." East of camp, at the tree line, May Carroll was on her hands and knees in the alien undergrowth, where she had been for the better part of 6 days. Her log was full. 3 new logs were also full. She'd run out of pages and started writing on the inside covers. Around her, specimens were laid out in order of her testing protocol. Visual assessment, chemical test with the salvaged kit, controlled skin contact, and then the final step she'd been deliberately avoiding because it required something no protocol could prepare you for. She picked up a small leaf-like structure, copper-colored at the base, fading to near translucent at the tip. It had passed every prior test without issue. She put it in her mouth, chewed, waited. "How long do you have to wait?" Iola asked, arriving behind her. 30 minutes for immediate reaction," May said, not opening her eyes. 4 hours for delayed. "And if there's a reaction? Then I'll let you know." "What will you let me know specifically?" "Iola, I'm asking for documentation purposes. If I start showing distress, wake Kay. She has the medical kit. I'll be fine." "How do you know?" May looked at the specimen in her hand. "I don't. But the cell structure is analogous to plant matter we know. The chemical compounds I can test for all came back clear. And the atmosphere is close enough to what we evolved in that our digestive systems should respond similarly." "Should." "That's a very scientific way of saying you're guessing," Iola said, sitting down beside her. "It's a very scientific way of saying I've reduced the uncertainty as far as the tools I have will allow." "For the record," Iola said, writing, "what does it taste like?" May considered. "Mineral. Like if a rock could be slightly sweet." "Not bad, actually." 4 hours later, May walked into camp. Normal stride, no distress. She held up a copper-tipped specimen. "We have food," she announced, to no one and everyone. Inside what remained of the engine compartment, which Bess had converted into a functioning workspace, Kay appeared at the threshold with 2 cups of water and the expression of someone who had been postponing a conversation. May found 3 edible species, Kay said, enough to supplement the rations for now. Good, Bess said, not looking up. She thinks there may be more if she extends the survey radius. Good. Are you going to look at me? A beat. Bess set down her tool, looked at Kay. I'm listening. I need an honest assessment. Not optimism, not pessimism. What are we actually working with? The propulsion housing is intact, Bess said. The fuel containment is structurally sound. The navigation core, the hardware, is repairable given time and the right components. Which we don't have. Yet. She picked up a component, turned it in her hands. I've been thinking about something. Don't argue with me until I finish. When have I ever? Constantly. Don't argue until I finish. We can't rebuild the Meridian. She's gone, but her bones are good. The propulsion housing, the containment, the core hardware. Those are the expensive parts, the hard parts. Bess, what if we didn't build her back? What if we built something else? Something designed for what this planet has, not what we brought. A new ship, Kay said. A different ship. Using her core systems, which still work, and whatever this planet can provide for the rest. And what can this planet provide? Bess looked at her. That's your part. Give me time, Kay said. Take all you need, Bess said, turning back to her work. I'm not going anywhere. Month 2. Kay had been spending her mornings on the ridge with the salvaged telescope array and a growing collection of handwritten notes. On this morning, she had something. She called the others up. All 5 of them stood on the ridge, below the crash site, the camp, the tree line. Ahead, a sweep of alien terrain, low hills, a dark basin 2 miles out, geological formations they hadn't explored yet. The basin, Kay said. What about it? Iola asked. The color is wrong. You can see it from up here. The soil is darker at the center. Higher mineral density. May was already looking. You think there's something down there? The spectral analysis I've been running on the salvage scanner isn't precise, but it's pointing at high concentrations of metallic compounds in the basin floor. Specifically, she paused, choosing her words carefully. Something that looks, chemically, like a precursor compound to synthetic propellant. You're saying this planet has fuel, Bess said. I'm saying this planet may have the ingredients for fuel. Processing them would be another matter entirely. But if you could process them, in theory, yes. Minty looked out at the basin. How far is that? 2 miles, 2.5. How soon do we go? Tomorrow morning. Bess was already thinking about engines. What equipment do we have for extraction? Not much, Kay said. We'll need to improvise. Naturally, Bess said, almost a smile. They went together the next morning. The walk took them through terrain of transition, where the copper plant life gave way to something denser, darker, with structures growing in near-perfect geometric formations. May stopped to examine one. These aren't random, she said. What do you mean? Iola asked. The spacing, the angle of growth. It's geometrically consistent, like they're orienting toward something. Can you be amazed and walk at the same time? Bess called back, already ahead. I'm logging it, May said, following, still looking back. I'm recording it, Iola added. Wonderful, Bess said. You can be amazed and walk. The basin floor was soft underfoot, a different composition entirely. Dark mineral deposits threaded through the soil in veins the color of iron filings. Kay crouched, took a sample, ran it through the portable scanner. She read the result. Read it again. There it is, she said quietly. What are you looking at? Bess said, crouching beside her. The compound I suspected. It's here in high concentration. And there's something else. The molecular structure is unusually stable, which means if we can isolate it, refine it, Bess said. Refine it? Yes. The energy yield would be... Kay looked up at Bess. Significant. How significant? Enough. Enough for what? Enough to get home, Kay said. Then Minty started digging. They carried what they could back to camp. On the walk home, nobody spoke much. Around the fire that night, the conversation had a different texture than week one's dinner. Still warm, still them. But the ease had changed. They knew each other's rhythms now. The silences had weight. How long will processing take? Iola asked. I don't know yet, Kay said. I need to understand the compound better before I can design a process. And I need to understand what I'm building before I know how much fuel we need, Bess added. Which is a circle, May said. Which is a circle. That's why we start both at the same time. This is going to take a while. Minty poked the fire. Sparks rose. Then, it takes a while, she said, without drama. We knew it wasn't going to be quick. We knew that from the first night. She looked at Kay. What we didn't know was whether it was possible. Now we know it's possible. We know it might be possible, Kay said. Minty looked at her evenly. We know it's possible. Kay held her gaze, accepted it. We know it's possible, she said. Month 3. They'd been building the communications rig for 3 weeks. It was Iola's project. Partly because she was the communicator. Partly because she was the one who couldn't stop thinking about the people waiting on the other end of a signal she couldn't send. Today was the test. All 5 of them crowded into the cockpit remnant, Bess and Kay at the controls, May watching the power readings, Minty at the door, arms folded, Iola at the transmitter. This should reach the nearest relay corridor, Iola said, checking settings. If it does, the signal could bounce to Eden Beta in 6 to 8 hours, Kay said, depending on traffic on the relay. All right, she powered it up. The hum changed pitch. Something was building. Iola leaned forward, and then... The atmosphere, Bess said, checking the readings. The upper layer has some kind of electromagnetic property we didn't account for. It's absorbing the signal. Iola went very still. Can we compensate? A long pause. Not with what we have, Bess said. Can we build something that compensates? Another pause. Not quickly. Iola nodded once. She began disassembling her notes, putting them away precisely. Then, we table it, she said. She stood. Document the atmospheric interference readings. We'll come back to it. She walked out. No one followed her immediately. Give her a few minutes, Minty said quietly to Kay. Kay nodded. Later, Iola sat alone on a rock ledge overlooking the basin. She was not writing. She was just sitting with the fact of it. That somewhere 6 to 8 hours away by signal, her mother thought she was on assignment and had no way to know otherwise. She had been holding this thought at arm's length since the crash. She had been very disciplined about it. Today, she let it be close. After a while, Minty came and sat beside her. Didn't say anything at first. You know what I do when I can't send a signal? Minty said finally. What? Iola asked. I talk anyway. Zola can't hear me. I know she can't. But I still tell her things. About the day. About what I found. About whatever. Maybe it's not about them receiving it. Maybe it's about you still having something to say. My mother says I write about other people's lives because I'm afraid to examine my own, Iola said quietly. Is she right? She usually is. which is very annoying. Minty let out a small laugh. Iola almost smiled. I have so much to write about now, Iola continued, looking out at the horizon. I keep thinking about that. This whole world nobody knows about. These 5 women nobody is looking for. This story that no one is going to read because we have no way to send it. You keep writing it anyway, Minty said. Of course, you keep talking anyway. That's the thing about the two of us, isn't it? Minty nodded slowly. The signal's not the point, she said. The signal's just how it gets there. Month 5. Bess had claimed a flat area beside the main wreckage and turned it into something that looked from a distance like organized chaos, and from close up like a different kind of art. Components, sketches pinned to hull panels, a hand-built workbench from salvaged material. On the bench, drawings, pages of them. Not schematics exactly, something between engineering and imagination. Kay was looking at them when Bess appeared behind her. Don't touch the stack on the left, Bess said. I wasn't going to touch. You were going to reorganize them. They're in my particular order. Kay stepped back from the stack, looked instead at the drawing Bess had pinned front and center. A vessel unlike anything that had ever launched from Eden Beta. Longer and lower than the Meridian 7. Different wing geometry. The propulsion system distributed differently. Talk me through it, Kay said. Bess came to stand beside her. The Meridian was built for long-range transit in known space. Stable trajectories, predictable gravity fields, relay support every few thousand miles. None of that applies here. None of it. What this planet has is a strong gravitational field and a mineral-dense atmosphere at the upper layers. The Meridian would fight both. She touched the drawing. She goes with the gravity first, uses it to build velocity before the burn. Different entry point into the upper atmosphere. A slingshot approach. Essentially, unconventional for departure. But we're unconventional for departure, so. The fuel system, Kay said. Modified. Designed around the compound you've been processing, not around standard propellant. I don't know if it'll work. But I can't see why it wouldn't. Theoretically, if your compound does what you say it does. It does what I say it does, Kay said. That's your certainty talking, Bess said lightly. I like your certainty. How long? Kay asked, looking at the drawing. To build? At the rate we're going, with 5 people, and assuming the planet cooperates. A breath. End of year 2. Optimistically. Year 2. Optimistically. Then we have work to do. Kay turned to leave. Kay, she stopped. Is it strange that Bess paused, looking at her drawing. I've been building things for 20 years. Fixing things. Maintaining things. I've never designed anything from scratch before. I think I like it. Kay looked at her. At the drawing. At the strange planet around them that had made this necessary. Hold on to that, she said. The same month, not far from camp. A cleared plot, 50 feet from the shelters. May was on her knees, checking each small emergence with a care that bordered on tenderness. She talked to them, low enough that no one standing further away could hear what she said. Minty brought her water, crouched beside her. Anything new? Minty asked. The hybrid row, May said, pointing. I cross-pollinated one of the Draken base plants with the legume seeds from the kit. I wasn't sure the cell structures were compatible. Are they? May couldn't hide her delight. They are growing. I have no idea what they'll produce, but they are growing. Minty looked at the small green shoots. What do you call it? When you make something that's never existed before, do you name it? May paused. She'd never been asked that. Taxonomy would require a formal classification, but informally, she looked at the shoot. Informally, I've been calling this row the Zola row. Minty didn't move for a moment. You talk about her, May said quietly. When you think no one's listening. I thought something new, something that came from two different things finding a way to work together. That seemed like the right name. Minty looked at the small green shoots for a long time. She'd like that, she said quietly. Month 7. Bess welding pieces of hull to a new frame she'd built from mineral-dense Draken timber. Sparks flying. She stepped back and looked at what she'd made. Something like pride crossed her face. Kay at her processing station, grown from a single salvaged instrument to a small lab. Samples in, data out. The compound was yielding. Not fast, but yielding. May's garden, expanding row by row. The Zola row had produced something. Small, dense, slightly purple. May ate one carefully, waited, then laughed. It was sweet, minty, always building. A second shelter, stronger, covered food storage, a proper fire station with wind management, the invisible infrastructure that made everything else possible. Iola, always writing. 7 logs now. She started numbering the pages, the 5 of them around the fire at night. The conversations had changed, less about home, more about the day, less about getting back, more about what they were building. This was not resignation. It was the natural conversation of people who had made their peace with where they were, without making their peace with staying. Month 9. Kay had been running a refined batch of the basin compound for 3 days. She hadn't slept much. She was used to this. The part of a problem where the answer was almost there. Bess found her staring at the output readings. "You look terrible," Bess said. "I look like someone who is about to tell you something important," Kay replied, not looking up. "What?" Kay looked up. "The refined yield from this batch is 40% higher than the previous. The energy density is..." She showed Bess the reading. "That's..." Bess said. "Yes. That's enough to..." "At the volume we can produce from the basin reserves, yes. With margin." "We have our fuel source, Bess." "You built a refinery," Bess said quietly, "on an alien planet, out of ship parts." "We built it. You designed it. You understood it. That counts." Bess picked up the display again, looked at the number. "Year 2, she said quietly, optimistically. "I'll be optimistic," Kay said, turning back to her work. Month 10. Everyone was asleep. Or almost everyone. Bess was in her workshop. She often worked late, and no one had tried to stop her since month 2, when Minty pointed out that Bess's late nights were why the structural framing was ahead of schedule. She was inspecting the portside propulsion interface, a component pulled from the Meridian's core, flagged weeks ago as repairable with time and the right approach. She had been working on it for 3 weeks. She picked it up, frowned, set it down, picked up her work light, looked closer. The calibration marks she'd made last week, small scratches in a pattern only she would know, were there. But the component itself was different. The interior housing she'd been slowly, painstakingly working to realign was aligned. She didn't do this. She'd worked late 2 nights ago and left it partially finished. She checked the log. She had the log. She didn't do this. She turned the component over in her hands. The work was precise, more precise than her tools could achieve, if she was being honest. She was good, very good, but this was better. She looked at the component for a long time. She looked around the camp, the dark, the sleeping shelters, the alien tree line beyond the perimeter. She set the component down carefully, as if it might tell her something if she handled it gently enough. She didn't say anything. She didn't wake anyone. She wrote 1 line in her working log. "The port interface is calibrated. I don't know when." She went back to work. Month 11, approaching year 1. Pull back from what existed now and compare it to what had been here 12 months ago. The difference was staggering, not because it was luxurious, but because it was intentional. Every structure placed for a reason. Every system serving something. The garden producing. The processing station running. And in the clearing where the Meridian's wing used to lie, the ship. Bess's ship. The one she had designed from nothing. It was not finished, but it was real. It looked nothing like the Meridian. Lower, longer, geometry different. Hull panels from the wreck formed its skin. The internal framework was Draken timber, mineral treated for strength. The propulsion housing, the Meridian's heart, repurposed into something its original builders never imagined. Bess walked around it slowly. Kay walked beside her. Neither spoke for a full circuit. She needs another 4 months, Bess said finally. Maybe 5. The fuel stockpile will be ready in 6. Then we're aligned. Kay looked up at the ship frame. Does she have a name? Bess looked at her, looked at the ship. Not yet. I figure she'll tell us when she's ready. Day 362 since the crash. The fire was the same, always the same, rebuilt every night. The constant they'd organized their days around. The women were the same, and also different. May's hands were calloused now in new places from the garden work. Minty's shoulders carried something less tense, not relaxed, but settled. The way someone settles when they've decided to trust the ground they're standing on. Iola's log was fatter, worn at the spine. Bess had a scar on her left forearm from a hull panel incident in month 4 that she refused to discuss. Kay was quieter than she'd been. Not sadder, just deeper into something, further in the problem. They ate well tonight. May's garden had provided. The emergency rations were a memory. I found something today, May said. In the northwest quadrant. Iola was already reaching for her log. What kind of something? A new mineral formation, different from the basin. The color is... I've never seen it. Almost bioluminescent. Is it useful? Bess asked. I don't know yet, but it's beautiful. I've been naming things, by the way. For the log, the plant species, the geological formations. I've named 47 new species. What system are you using? Iola asked. May smiled. People I miss. Is there a Zola? Minty asked softly. The hybrid from month 2, May said, nodding. The purple ones. Minty was quiet for a moment. She'll be 8 now, she said to the fire. Nobody said anything. They understood what a birthday away from someone means. They let her hold it. My mother started a garden on the balcony last year, Iola said after a moment. I told her she was too impatient for gardening. Are you going to tell her you have one? May asked. The moment I have a signal, that is the first thing she hears. Right after I'm alive. Right after you're alive, Kay agreed. Bess, Kay said. The ship. What about it? 6 months. Approximately, Bess said. 6 months and we go home. 6 months, approximately. And then we find out if everything we've built does what we've built it to do. It will, Minty said. You don't know that. Minty looked at her. I know what you've built. I've watched you build it. It will. Bess held her gaze for a moment, then looked at the fire. End of year 2, she said quietly, optimistically. May reached over and placed a small copper-colored plant stem in the center of the group. The first plant she had identified as edible, the one she'd eaten in week 2 without knowing if she'd be fine in 4 hours. She didn't explain. They understood. A marking of the year. They sat with